world's first round 256 has been achieved on Liberty Falls for Black Ops 6 Zombies. The official KHF got there a few hours ago and was kind enough to let me talk about his achievement. This is also the max round for Black Ops 6, so how did he actually do it? Because only a couple days ago I was showing off a strategy on this channel I used to reach round 100. It was actually a really fun way of playing while running around in the spawn room and using the ether traps. But after a while, it also became quite difficult to get through rounds and I didn't see anybody getting to 256 like that. Well, leave it to high round players to find the new and most broken strategies in the game and then maximize them to their absolute fullest. Also, you should definitely leave a like because this is crazy and I might have a Terminus high round video out in a few hours too. I also know a couple other people have reached round 256 since KHF did it, but he was the first one to get it done. So right away on round 1, KHF made sure to keep the door on the left side of the starting room closed. This is going to be super important later on in the strategy. From there, you just go through the next few rounds while opening up the map like normally. While you're still in the early rounds though, I would try to get the jet gun as fast as possible. If you know how to do the free jet gun side quest, then that is great because it will save you a lot of time and headaches. Don't worry about getting the ray gun since it's going to be pretty much useless once you get the high round setup going anyways. Also, don't bother using your salvage on upgrading the rarities of your weapons. Try to get and keep as much of it as possible for later. Make sure to also use Ether Shroud as your field upgrade if you got it like KHF was using. If you haven't unlocked it yet, then Frenzied Guard would be okay, but it's really not ideal. If you have Ether Shroud, then definitely run it. Also, make sure to have decoy grenades because those are going to help out a lot. One more thing, if you're going to try this for yourself, then you need to be at least level 39 in Black Ops 6 Zombies for a reason I'll explain in a second. When everything is done, just play as you normally would for as long as you possibly can without taking any downs. Hopefully you'll have about 10 to 15,000 salvage by that point, and now we can actually begin doing what KHF mastered. Basically what he did was go through the Liberty Lanes bowling alley, past the stamina up machine, and then out the back of the building. There's going to be a crafting table right there too, so buy a mutant injection score streak if you haven't got one already. You'll also see that door that he kept shut from the spawn room. Keep it closed, but head down the stairs and get ready for all the zombies that are going to come at you. When you're down there, spawns are extremely fast, and they only speed up when super sprinters start appearing after round 40. At the start of every round, just sit at the back and use your jet gun until it's nearly out of ammo. At that point, KHF could do a couple of things. He could either use Ether Shroud to give himself a little bit more time for the jet gun to refill some of its ammo, or he could use that mutant injection. If you haven't used this thing yet, it is the best item in the game by far. As soon as you pop it, you don't take any damage. The mangler you turn into also has infinite health while also being able to one-shot every single normal zombie. For elite enemies like the regular manglers, it takes 3 swipes early on, and then after round 100 it increases to something more like 5 swipes to take them out. When the abominations spawn, it takes about 8 swipes after round 100 to eliminate it. But because this mutant injection lasts for just so long, you can take out an insane amount of zombies and bosses in one go. I'm also in a game of Liberty Falls right now trying out this strategy, and at round 70 plus for me, it's only taking 1 mutant injection to make it through an entire round. For KHF on the other hand, round 255, it took about 3 of them, which is still absolutely insane if we're being honest here. That is a really high round and it only takes 3. While you're in that mangler mode, make sure to only use the melee attack because the arm cannon is much slower to use and doesn't really have any extra benefits. Everything is going to be close range anyway, so you might as well melee. You can go pretty much anywhere that you want in this area, but don't really go inside of the Liberty Lanes bowling alley as much as you possibly can prevent it because it's going to mess up spawns a little bit and it's just kind of slower. So if you can stay over near the crafting table or at the bottom area near the door that's closed, I would recommend that. While KHF is killing all those zombies and the bosses, additional salvage is also being dropped on the ground. Make sure to pick it up every single time because a lot of the strategy is going to be about managing how much salvage that you've got. When the mutant injection is done, all enemies will run away from you for a couple of seconds, so use that time to head over to the crafting table to buy another mutant injection, then get right back all the way down those stairs. Make sure to also have your jet gun out at all times because otherwise it will not recharge itself. It doesn't recharge unless you are holding it in your hands. For most of you, it won't matter because the round is already over, but for KHF, and if you're going to go to round 150, 200, even 256, it was important because he needed to keep killing zombies that round. There is a few things I really should point out that you may not have noticed KHF doing, but will help you guys out a ton. When you're using the jet gun, do not use all 100 of the ammo. Always leave a couple in the magazine because if you use all of it, the jet gun will do an animation that takes a couple of seconds. In the meantime, you won't be able to use your mutant injection and you could possibly take it down from it since the spawns are so fast and zombies after round 100 deal tons of damage. I haven't really talked about it too much to be quite honest with you, but this strategy strategy is one that can go very south very quickly. You can take a down just in the blink of an eye. It is absolutely insane. KHF in his match would sometimes choose to use the blast mode from the jet gun when he got low on ammo, but that's only because he's a really good player who was confident that he could do that and then not go down. For the rest of us though, just try to play it safe. Unless you get absolutely horrible luck, you should stay around the same amount of salvage despite each mangler injection costing 2500 salvage. This is because enough of it drops to make up for some of the difference, plus regular manglers tend to drop them a decent amount of the time, meaning you won't need to go buy a new one for the next round. I should also mention that chopper gunners and most other score streaks are not very good when high rounding this area. With the chopper gunners, most of the zombies just end up standing inside of the bowling alley where you can't get to them. All the other score streaks are kinda doo-doo anyway, so pretty much stick to the mutant injector as much as you possibly can. One super surprising thing is that the vermin special rounds are actually useful for once. That's because even though they're way too long and honestly should be changed, you do get salvage drops from them a really high percentage of the time. So while you might have been going down salvage a little bit throughout the regular rounds, a decent venom round will get you 1000 to 1500 salvage. Even more surprising somehow is that when KHF actually got to round 256, the game actually stopped counting rounds. You can go through rounds like normal where you'll have the start and end music, but the number just doesn't increase on the screen. We've seen this before, notably with Black Ops 3, but in games like Cold War, you could basically keep going forever all the way up until round 1000 if you wanted to, and the game would keep counting. That's not all though, because when you reach 14,999 eliminations, that stops increasing too. Even if you save and quit to go look at your stats, the main menu isn't corrected either. This seems like it has to be intentional by Treyarch because your essence counter is fixed from the other games and increases infinitely, so obviously they knew what they were doing here. It just seems so arbitrary and stupid because they should know by now that good zombies players are going to get past round 255 on literally any game that they release because that's just what we do. KHF continued to play for another couple of hours after reaching 256 and originally was keeping track of what round he really should have been on but stopped counting eventually. If I had to make an estimate, I would say he's actually on round 310 or 320, but this match isn't actually over just yet. He has a save file right now while he plays Terminus for a bit. So who knows, maybe it's possible that once you get to round 512, 513, or 514, the number will just flip around and it could start again. Nobody really knows, to be honest. If you're wanting to play this strategy yourself, then do it quickly because Treyarch is 1000% going to patch it in the next couple of days. They're probably going to nerf the mangler really hard, so take advantage of it while you can. I'll also let you guys in on a little secret if you want to climb the round survival leaderboard. Every time that you save and quit in a zombies match, it counts those rounds on top of the ones that you already played. So let's say you get to round 70 and then you save and quit your game and then you go back in, go one more round and then quit. That'll count as 141 rounds survived. So like I said, if you're looking to climb that leaderboard, this is going to be your chance because that's probably going to be another thing that Treyarch patches in the next couple of days because it's really broken right now. Congratulations to KHF on the world's first max round in BO6 Zombies. Please do me a favor and go check him out in the description as thanks for letting me cover his game. He's still doing lots of high rounds right now, so you might catch him live if you really wanted to. Thank you for watching, love you, bye-bye.